y'all. So I'm gonna call this chapter 1. This is gonna go more in depth now about why I'm here, what my goal is here, and what God is using me for. So I struggle with lust. I've struggled with it since I was 11 years old. And basically, how I do have a paper right here. I'm just gonna do it off the head. This video is gonna be uncut, but I'm gonna probably chop it up a little bit. But I'm gonna talk about where it started, how it grew as a kid. But basically, it started when I was 11 years old. I was at my grandparents' house, and I was watching MTV. I don't know how it was on the channel, how I got into the channel, but I was watching an MTV music video when I was alone at my grandma's house. And I think it was like a Hispanic, maybe a Bad Bunny music video or so. And I'm 11 years old, and that was the first time I ever got exposed to some type of sexual content. It was the usual music video, girls, cars, this and that, people dancing, booty shaking, shit like that. And ever since then, at 11 years old, I've been interested into that. So then I would watch more MTV music videos. I think it even got to a point where I remembered the channel. So I would click on the channel to see if there's any music videos playing. Then as it grew, it moved to, I never really had a phone or anything like that. So I think my brain started to sexualize at that point. And basically, there was newspapers that my grandma would have, and there was fitness newspapers, and my brain was already sexualized that from 11 to 13 years old, already sexualized. So I would be looking in those fitness papers, sexualizing, the models in there as well. Then as a kid, I even used to take my sister's Barbie dolls and basically strip them. My sister always was she was probably 6 years old or 5 years old or something, and I was 11. She would always wonder why her Barbie dolls are missing, and why they're in my room, and why are they naked. So I even sexualized Barbie dolls. This is all before, having access to content online. Then I think one time, my first time actually having access to anything kind of like this is a school laptop. The only thing I had access to was YouTube on that. So what I used to do is I used to watch more music videos on laptops, and I would also be sexualizing that as well. Now, and this is as a kid, so you are so vulnerable as a kid that you just soak everything up like a sponge. So I grew up basically my most important years of life, from 11 to 21, being overly sexualized from the jump. So I'm not gonna say how it affects my life right now, not just yet, not in this video, but in another video I will, in the future ones. But basically though, this is how I struggle with lust today. And I'm just saying how it started for me. It starts different for everybody else. I know that older people started from Playboy magazine, this and that. But basically for me, it was MTV YouTube videos at 11 years old. Then moved on to fitness magazines. Then it moved on to Barbie dolls, and then YouTube. But that is how I was exposed to sexual content. And I didn't know better. I was too young. Nobody had to talk about that. So, and once again, my goal on this YouTube channel and my content in general is to spread the word about men who deal with lust and how we need to talk about it together to get rid of it. Because what makes this so hard to battle is that people are ashamed of it and they're scared of it. Most men, I don't know, damn near all men my age struggle with this, and they're too afraid to struggle with this. Believe me, I am terrified of what I'm doing right now, but God is using me as a vessel to speak to others and to know that what I struggle with, to speak to others so they don't struggle with it as well, or to at least be able to talk to each other and work with each other. That's how prayer works. You can't pray by yourself and think it's going to work. You need to have a community, a church, people behind you, mentors. It's not something you can do by yourself. So I'm doing this terrifying work for me to show you guys where I am right now. Most people that talk about this stuff already have it under control and then they spread the word. What I'm doing differently is I'm talking about it while I still struggle with this today. Yes, I still struggle with this today. And yes, it's not as bad as it was a year ago or 2 years ago, but I still struggle with it. And I can admit that I over-sexualize things a lot. And I'm not perfect on it, and I'm a human. But I'm a child of God. I believe in God, and God has used me as a vessel to spread this word. So if you're afraid, if you're afraid and you struggle with this, leave a comment. And if you are not, and if you're too afraid to comment, DM me. We could talk about this. But follow me. Follow, like, share, spread the word. I'm building a community to help everybody out here through God, fitness, and my own personal struggles. Have a good Sunday.